tough opinion on Roe v. Wade could impact midterm elections nationwide.
From a mild morning to the next 2 days full of thunderstorms. We'll have the latest from the Skywatch Weather Center.
And find out why these travelers from the Czech Republic are taking a step back in time on the Mother Road.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
After a morning of rain, we've got even more precip in the forecast for this afternoon. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Tanya Buck. And if you're looking for change in the forecast, your pockets may stay empty for a while. Michael Hayslip joins us with the latest on a rising concern.
Tanya, you said we've got rain for the afternoon and the night and tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon, we're a long way from being over, folks. So here's where we are currently on the Skywatch storm tracker. We'll go ahead and eliminate not only the cloud cover, but let's go ahead and eliminate the lightning too. So that way we get an idea of just how hard this rain is coming down. The original band that came out of northwest Arkansas made it up through Joplin, then kind of stalled out and began to track off to the east. Now this is a key area of movement right here, because that heavy rain now stretching from, say, Benton County up through Cassville, Monette, and Mount Vernon, and there you see it begin to gradually move. Well, if everything is going to stop its northerly movement and move off to the east, then everything that we've got building right now out on the western edge of southeast Kansas, that's going to work through for the rest of the day. That gives you an idea about why we are so far from being over. Kind of interesting here in the last 20 minutes, we developed this circle right here in the middle of the 4 states that is just turned into light rain, but we are a long way from being done. So it's no surprise that we've got the flood watches in effect for the majority of the 4 states. Now you'll notice too that those last until Thursday at 1 p.m. Well, we're not going to be surprised if those are not extended in the least. Even that blinking right there that we see throughout southeast Kansas, not actually a time extension as of yet, but more of an update, if you will, and those stretch all the way down to the Red River. Nationally speaking, as far as the contiguous 48 goes, we are kind of the bullseye of it all. Look at that, everything coming out of the Sooner State and central Kansas and then right upon us. And it also cooled down. It was warmer this morning before the rain started than what it is, and really what it will be in some places all throughout the afternoon. Clouds aren't going to go anywhere. Every now and then we'll scrape together a 60, but those are going to be far and few between. And you'll notice at the top of the weather trend that it just keeps on coming down. Even though we want to seemingly get a little breakout to the west, that's not the case. In particular, I wanted to show tonight into tomorrow morning, that one right there, the one that lasts past midnight and takes us into early Thursday morning. Tanya, that's the one that's going to have the best chance of packing, high winds, and even some hail. We do have some movement on the severe thunderstorm risk map in the good news category, dropping a little bit down to the south. So we'll break that down when I see you here in a bit.
That's very good news, yes. You know, I stepped outside a little bit ago. It really does seem like it's raining cats and dogs outside.
Wait till we do the accumulation numbers. Think about this, 0.6 of an inch so far at Joplin Regional Airport since Monday. I'm picking up places right now that are going to be 2 inches by the time we get to our weather block.
And then there for sure will be poodles everywhere.
Notice folks, she was setting me up for that, and I knew it was coming, but I didn't have anywhere to run.
You just tried to skirt on by.
I knew it.
All
I
right.
knew it.
We got to look at the bright side of things, right?
No, I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Oklahoma's Republican Governor Kevin Stitt signs a Texas-style abortion ban prohibiting abortions after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. The bill signed yesterday takes effect immediately. The Oklahoma Supreme Court denied an emergency request that the new law be temporarily halted, but abortion rights advocates who sued say they are still optimistic the court will grant them relief. The measure prohibits abortions once cardiac activity can be detected in an embryo. Experts say that's typically about 6 weeks into a pregnancy before many women even know they're pregnant. Well, the leaked Supreme Court draft showing the justices could be on the verge of overturning Roe v. Wade has galvanized activists on both sides of the issue. It now looks to be one of the most defining issues in this year's elections. Natalie Brand has the latest from the Supreme Court.
Demonstrators on both sides of the issue took to the streets in cities across the country.
It's very serious and important to all of us that we come out and show support in favor of Roe v. Wade.
There's a voice out here in Florida that is actually supporting overturning what they're doing.
Democrats say they're already working on legislation to make Roe versus Wade into federal law nationwide.
I don't see 60 votes to ban abortion.
With the filibuster in place, there is little to no chance that it would pass in the 50-50 Senate. But the Senate Majority Leader says he wants to put lawmakers on the record.
This is as urgent and real as it gets. We will vote to protect a woman's right to choose, and every American is going to see which side every senator stands.
This week's leaked draft opinion has already begun to galvanize voters on both sides, with midterm primaries already beginning.
I think a woman has the right to control her own body. I think that precedent matters.
It's a complicated issue, and when you turn things to states' rights, I'm a strong believer in states' rights, so let them decide as they choose.
An advisor to President Biden says the issue could engage harder to reach or younger voters. Vice President Harris made abortion rights the centerpiece of her speech to Emily's List, a pro-democratic organization dedicated to electing women.
How dare they? How dare they tell a woman what she can do and cannot do with her own body?
Very few people vote on a single issue.
Both anti-abortion rights and pro-abortion rights advocates are also preparing for the fight to move to individual states. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
Well, the final ruling from the court is expected to be issued well before the end of the court's term in late June or early July. It could even come this month. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, visitors from the Czech Republic celebrate Tourism Week with a trip along Route 66. And later, we're making a chicken chile relleno in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. It's easy to find something to do or see in Joplin and along Route 66, but this week, National Tourism Week is a chance to highlight those hot spots for people who aren't from the area. KOAM's Jalen Banks spoke with a group of tourists from the Czech Republic about their adventures.
This week marks the start of National Tourism Week. Here in the 4 states, we have an attraction that draws people from all over the world, that being historic Route 66. Today in Joplin, we had a group all the way from the Czech Republic.
Route 66 reaches across 8 different states over the span of 2,400 miles, and our group from the Czech Republic will be making that trek, starting in Illinois and ending in Santa Monica, California.
The tours are led by Zdeněk Jurásek, president of the Czech Republic Route 66 Association. He's made the journey 32 times, and back home he has a rock radio station that plays music inspired by the route.
We had a communism era, and we are not allowed to travel to the Western countries and to America, and we always wished to visit United States and especially Route 66, and a lot of people here are fulfilling their lifelong dream.
When I asked Zdeněk what his favorite site on Route 66 was, he cannot pick just one.
Oh, no. I have no favor on Route 66 because the favorite is all Route 66 together. No place are. I cannot prefer any place. All is good together.
According to Patrick Tuttle, director of the Joplin Business Convention Bureau, pre-pandemic 12 to 15,000 tourists from Europe would visit Route 66. He's hoping to see those numbers again as we move past the pandemic. And along with that, our friends from the Czech Republic will too.
In Joplin, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
The group's president says the Czech Route 66 Association will make the trip back across Route 66 later this month, starting in California and ending in Illinois. Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Did you know that tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo? Well, we've got the perfect recipe to shake things up. And I'm not just talking about with maracas.
But first, Michael Hayslip returns with your complete forecast.
Now we're going to spend the majority of the time talking about the danger of flooding, but before we get there, I want to pass along a couple other storm reports that actually have just filtered in. This one coming from the Missouri Department of Transportation. Not but 10 minutes ago, MoDOT reporting that 66 is closed at Murphy Boulevard. Once again, 66 closed at Murphy Boulevard in Joplin. This closure is expected to last 1 hour. This is while I was filtering through, checking to see down in southwest Missouri if any roads were closed due to flooding when I came across this. So I want to pass that along. Also of note, down in Anderson, Missouri, in McDonald County, our good friend Greg Sweeten checking in with us, saying not only did they receive some light hail today, if there is such thing as light hail, smaller sized hail maybe I should say, but also too 6 inches of water running down the streets of Anderson, Missouri. That's where we stand right now. Here's where we are in Joplin. 51 degrees, wind gusting at 24 miles per hour does make it extremely cool out there. The rain just continues to backfill out to the west. We're a long way from being over. Lightning strikes, we're not picking up as much as what we had earlier. It's almost circular as far as around the outside of the 4 states. But if we go back and look at this from the last 30 minutes, look at the inordinate amount of lightning as this thing moved in from the south. Lightning strike also being blamed for a structure fire in Tahlequah, Oklahoma this morning as well. Current watches and warnings, we knew that the flood warnings were going to be around for, several days here. And look at that expiration time not until Thursday afternoon. Then also too, down in Commerce, we have a flood watch for the Neosho River. The Neosho and the Little Osage and Vernon are 2 rivers right now that we have hydrograph-wise that are of flooding concern. But remember, we've still got all day tomorrow to go, so that's something we're going to have to keep our eyes on. Rain totals for what we've seen this week, let's do it for the past 24 hours. That'll give us kind of a better gauge. But we talked about having about 0.6 of an inch at Joplin Regional Airport. If we drop down here into portions of Ottawa County, Newton County, we're already way past that. As a matter of fact, 1.2 inches right there on the southern portion of Ottawa County, down in the Anderson area, down by Pineville, 1.5 inches, 1.2 inches. So we're easily going to cruise past 3 to 4 inches of rain as we get down south of I-44. And look at those flood watches actually extend all the way south of the Red River. As far as the national picture goes, yep, we are in the bullseye, if you will, is exactly what it looks like right there. It's kind of all eyes on us as far as what transpires for the evening into tomorrow morning. Temperatures remain cool with those gusts of wind. I am going to find a little silver lining right here. We talk about our convective available potential energy, and once again, that's that energy to eat up and become severe weather. Well, look at that. And we're kind of just hanging with everything staying down to our south. So it is rain, it is thunder, it is lightning, but it should stay away from the severe weather for the rest of the afternoon. But we've got to transition into tonight and talk about what is headed our way for, say, about 8, 9 o'clock tonight into early tomorrow morning, because we're going to get a good line of heavy rain, especially when you look down to the south right there. And as this thing rolls through, that's going to increase our chances of the high winds and possibility of hail. We concentrated south and along of I-44. The heaviest rain as well. That transpires overnight. Looks like we get a little reprieve here Thursday, and you think maybe we're done, but that is not the case all the way through Thursday afternoon. And then all of a sudden, watch this thing decide it wants to kick counterclockwise on us. There was one little more batch from Thursday night into Friday morning. Here is a severe thunderstorm risk map. The big difference is we've transitioned that elevated level below our highlighted counties. Now, we've taken most of northeast Oklahoma, put that just in the marginal, taking it out of the low category. So like I said, this downward shift in intensity, this is a good sign. This is one thing that's not going to budge though. Look at the southern portion of the 4 states just build up right there. That's looking like more than 4 inches of rain by the time we get to Friday morning.
All right. Well,
one thing I want to point out tonight, that 4 inches of rain that we looked at, that's on top of what we've already got. That's not including, that's as I stand right here going forward.
definitely stay apprised of that. We need to be safe out there. All right, thanks, Michael. We take this time to honor today's 4-state hero, Private First Class Harold Model in the U.S. Army. The soldier from Parsons, Kansas, joined the 3rd Armored Division in 1958. He served until 1960, stationed in Germany. To Private Harold Model, we thank you, our 4-state hero. Today, I am finally learning how to make one of my favorite Mexican dishes, and you get to join in on the fun. Howard shows us how to make a chicken chile relleno. in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
It may sound funny, but every year we always seem to get a few people asking us if we know when Cinco de Mayo is. Seriously, we do. The answer is it's tomorrow, since Cinco de Mayo means May 5th in Spanish. So to celebrate it, we have a seriously good chicken dish that's bursting with flavor. Let me show you how easy it is. We start off by flattening a few boneless, skinless chicken breasts with a meat mallet, or if you don't have one, you can gently pound them with the side of a soup can. On top of each, we place a quarter of a poblano chili pepper that we've seeded. And if you're not familiar with these, they're a mild chili pepper, and we can find them right next to all the other peppers in the market. Then some Monterey Jack cheese goes on top, and we roll them up, securing each one with a toothpick. Now we dip these in some beaten egg and bread them with some crushed nacho chips before baking them off. Right before they're done, we sprinkle on more cheese, this time shredded, and back into the oven they go. And when you cut into these, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Between the crispy coating and the ooey gooey cheesy center, you really can't miss. So with Cinco de Mayo less than 24 hours away, you better go online right now and get the recipe for our chicken chili relleno. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fun and festive way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Like that idea. You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at koamnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
They're coming. Stay hidden, or we will not survive. Leave us alone.
It's May the 4th, also known as Star Wars Day, and by no coincidence, Disney Plus releases a new trailer for its upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Series follows Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi after his apprentice Anakin Skywalker turned to the dark side and became Darth Vader. As one of the galaxy's last living Jedi, Kenobi evades evil Inquisitors intent on hunting him down while he keeps careful tabs on young Luke Skywalker. Hayden Christensen reprises his role as Darth Vader. The series is billed as a 6-part event premiering May 27th on Disney Plus. I'm excited.
Kind of reminds you if you gave a 2-year-old and you said, hey, color the rain inside the 4-state county lines. And yeah, they're allowed a little wiggle room. But yeah, that's what we are locked into. And remember, this rain is going to last all the way into Thursday night / Friday morning.
Oh, wow. What do we have coming up tonight at 5?
At 5, researchers are testing a new kind of UV light that can safely destroy up to 98% of airborne microbes. And Health Watch, how it can protect against the flu and even COVID variants. Plus, the Downtown Joplin Alliance announces a new partnership for the future of the Joplin Historic Depot. And the Kansas governor signs a bill adjusting property tax rates. Hope you join us, KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dow. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.